Well, this is becoming one of the most bizarre spells I've had at Southend United because on the pitch, results are relatively good. We're still top of the Premier League table and we're still into other big competitions. However, we've got a number of players starting to get unhappy about contracts, about wanting to move on, a lot of players starting to get injured, and the performances, well, they're just not there. And that is becoming an annoyance to me. Yes, hello and welcome along to part 96 of Saving Southend with me, Daniel. We are back today for a second leg of our Champions League knockout round against Porto, and we're in a spot of bother after losing the first leg away at Jurgen Klopp's side. We've also got Brighton and Arsenal in another one of those triple headers, but it's not looking too easy at the moment. Lots of unhappiness, a few injuries to key players starting to crop up. So if you're looking forward to seeing if we'll be in 1, 2 or 3 competitions after today's video, then please do put a thumbs up on it. As you can see, we're top of the Premier League by 3 points, but United probably going to hold the advantage when it comes to goal difference this year. We're struggling to score goals. We've got no player on more than 14, and 3 of them are on goal droughts prior to the weekend. 2 of them ended it, but 1 of them is now injured. So a bit of a weird spell, as I mentioned in the introduction. You can see today we're without the likes of Peacock, Kranjic and Jimenez, who have all picked up recent injuries. But if we go and have a look at the schedule, it's all been a little bit weird in recent weeks because the defensive record we were so proud of in the first half of the year has just evaporated, just disappeared for no good reason. And then in January, again, we start to get those players that are unsettled, they want to move on. They're getting bigger interest, they're getting bigger contract offers, and they want more money. And that has caused a little bit of unrest and certainly has affected the performances. We have lost a fair few games in this period. We've dropped points as well. But overall, we're doing all right. We are struggling a bit with match load, though, and we haven't helped ourselves there because we've had an extra game in the FA Cup. The replay, we did get through just, but we played 120 minutes. And that's had a knock-on effect on our performances. So let's just go through the games off camera. We played Leeds in the FA Cup third round. Mauricio, Teddy Ivanov and Takazuka scored. And ironically, I think for Ivanov, that was his last goal until the last game. Mauricio has not scored since. In the following game, we won it in the 95th minute at Brentford. Lewis Herbert went up and scored a big one from a corner. That's why he's captain after Joe Wills had got the opener. Joe Wills then scored against Arsenal before going on his own goal drought, which ended in the 92nd minute of the last game. But again, Lewis Herbert, 90th minute equaliser from a set piece. We're certainly not doing it the easy way this year. We were then beaten at Aston Villa, another one of the Jose specials, 2-0 up on the stroke of half time, conceded, then lost it in the second half. How many times has that happened against his team? We did win 5-0 against Hull thanks to a Ukulano quad, and then we also got one from Kranjic. We got beat 4-3 at Inter as we rested people in the last 2 Champions League games. Vasquez got 2. He's starting to come on strong now. Kazuki Takazuka with 1 as well. A 3-3 draw away at Ipswich thanks to 2 own goals in the FA Cup. You can just see there's no one scoring regularly. Adamson did get 1, which was important, but again, not a good performance at all. A 2-2 draw against Liverpool was a pretty good one with the backup team. Adamson equalised off the bench after Ishmael had put us 1 up early in the second half. A 1-0 win at home to Norwich thanks to an early Kranjic goal. A 0-0 draw after 120 minutes against Ipswich, but we did manage to score all of the penalties. A 3-2 win at Derby, including a 94th minute winner. And it's maybe the only thing I'm taking heart from at the minute. If you look at the Brentford, the Arsenal and the Derby games, that's 5 points gained. All of those from stoppage time goals. So maybe we're just showing that sign of champions. It would be ironic if we win it, playing the worst football we've played in 2 or 3 years. The defensive record again a worry though, as Armin Memic got a rare goal. A 1-0 defeat at Porto on Wednesday night. We were awful there. We actually went with our first 11 as well, before a 4-1 win at the weekend against Leeds. Jimenez picked up his injury. Takazuka and Ivanov scored though. Ivanov ending his goal drought, as did Joe Wills late on in the second half. He was off the bench, as was Kranjic, who got 1 as well. So decent form when you look at it on paper, but certainly not the most convincing month or two. Certainly a lot of days where we had disappointing defensive efforts. we've just not got a regular goal scorer at the minute. If we go and have a look through at the transfers, as it was the January window, no one came in after the Greek lad. And to be fair, this squad doesn't need open heart surgery. It's just about getting one or two each window that keep regenerating a squad, that keep making it stronger. And if you look at the players out, very similar, no real senior departures. Simon Cummins, a young player to Leeds for 750 grand, plus a 50% sell-on clause. And then we also let Soren Hansen go on loan to lower Premier League side Norwich. He's going to go there, he's played some games, and hopefully he'll improve because he needs the game time. We've got a few legends who we know are probably going to be moving on this summer. Harrison wants to leave. We've got 4 or 5 contractually that are asking for silly money. Takatsuka wants to be the highest paid player at the club. Drew O'Day wants to be the second highest. And at the moment, Rakowski is overtaking him, and Kieran Peacock, once back from injury, isn't far away. I'm going to have big decisions to make. It feels like we're coming to one of those crossroad summers. We tend to have one every sort of 2 to 3 years. I think this is going to be one of them where there's big decisions to make. But today we've got to focus on a triple header, so let's get straight into the football. I need to pick my team, readjust it from the weekend fixture. We'll go as strong as we can against FC Porto. But while I sort out my 11, let me tell you a few quick words about our sponsor today. For this video, we're proudly partnered with HelloFresh. HelloFresh are on a mission to make your mealtimes easier with pre-portioned ingredients, quick and easy recipe cards, and plenty of treats we can get on board with too. Get 60% off your first box plus free dessert for life by clicking a link at the top of the description. Sounds good, doesn't it? I've tried it before, I'm a big fan of the brand, and have helped with my weight loss this year too. There's healthy options available, so why not grab your discount and give HelloFresh a go from the description below. Well, in an attempt to please the Football Manager gods today and get them back on my side, I've got the Football Manager shirt on. But let's go through the 11, because we have got Jude Sadler in goal, Memic and De Angelis are the fullbacks with Herbert and O'Day as centre-half, Yokolano and Adamson the wingers, Kivrakidis and Rakowski in the middle. If you have a look further down, Bernberg had a knock, Berek struggling, Harrison struggling, it's bare bones in midfield. We've got Ivanov and Joe Wills up front, but 2 natural centre-halves in centre-mid is not ideal, is it? None on the bench that are really fully fit. It's going to be a tough old night, this. We're 1-0 down on aggregate. We're struggling for goals anyway. I've gone with the 2 strikers that did end their goal drought at the weekend. I'm just hoping that'll be enough, to be honest. Let's go into this one and see if we can. It will directly impact our team selection for the next 2 games. If we go out of this competition, I'm going to prioritise the league fixture and try and win the Premier League. If we stay in this one, I'm going to rest people in the league game and try and win the cup one. I feel then we've got more chance with cup football. Let's go through to the first of this triple header and see how we get on against Porto. Well, so often our nemesis as Newcastle manager in this save. What will Jurgen Klopp produce with Porto? Pretty much all regens now, although the centre forward, Buonanni, is the man who scored in the first leg. He's a quality player, now 30 years of age. So let's just get through to the first half. They've got a couple of players on the bench that are young that we've tried to sign before. I'm not sure that's going to matter today, because unless we can find a way to start scoring more regularly, we're going to be in trouble in these sorts of matches. In cup football, you need goal scorers. What can we do? De Angelis works down the left to Adamson. Champions League music still ringing in my ear as Adamson goes back again. Here is Kivrakidis, who started well at the club, but we've definitely had to overwork him. To have all of our first 3 choice centre mids out is a bit of a shame. As De Angelis puts an early cross in, that's a good ball. And Teddy Ivanov, that's how important it was to end the goal drought at the weekend. He's fallen down the pecking order to Kranic a lot this year. And yes, Kranic is the top scorer. But could you argue that if Ivanov had played all the games and been in flow and been in form, that he'd have scored more? You arguably could. He's going to get a month or so to prove it now. A great cross from De Angelis and a good start to the tie. 1-1 on aggregate, 1-0 on the night. Well, I've just seen that Celtic have taken a lead away from home in theirs with Marcos Leonardo as Ivanov nicks the ball off the defence, gets in behind, he's got a chance, but he's been forced a little wide. He's not quite so strong on his left foot. But Marcos Leonardo, one of our head coach heroes, doing a job for Celtic in the Champions League. And it just sort of shows, if we can get through and maybe sneak past one of those teams that finish in the top 8, there are opportunities this year as Buonanni finds Timber. There's an original I didn't notice as it goes back to the edge of the box and Adamson nicks it. He is developing into an absolute monster now as well. Wills works down the left, cuts inside. Space to run into. There's support from Ivanov, but he's going alone. Joe Wills. Oh, wide of the post. Wonderful football, great footwork and a lovely run. But considering he ended his goal drought, it's not the best finish, to be fair. As it's back to the edge of the box again, you can see Porto still having a lot of the ball. That's offside, referee. O'Day makes a great challenge. It doesn't matter. We've still got some defending to do. As we clear the ball away with Ukulano, but it's only as far as Keita. Porto keeping us camped in our own half. All of our 11 in our own defensive third now. And there's the centre forward doing running on the right wing. As Memic clears away to Adamson, there's a chance to break, but Wills can't get there. Buonani finds Timber. Good challenge from Wills. Back 25 yards out, winning the ball. Ukulano breaks down the right. He's got support ahead of him, but he's going solo. Free in the middle. Ukulano. Teddy Ivanov. Save to Adamson. Comeback complete for now. Ryan Adamson, left-footed finish. And it's 2-0 Southend on the night. VAR are checking for an offside. Must be for Ivanov from the original one. Oh, you're joking. I was so sure it was on. I thought that finish might be a bit too good to be true. Stays 1-0 and it's back in the balance. We're dominating on the night, but again, we're not finding the finishing touch. At half-time, I'm pleased enough with the performance. But we've got to find a way to get more goals. We need Joe Wills to start scoring regularly, not just once every now and then. And it's why I'm sort of resisting giving him that new contract, because I can't make my first player earning more than 100 grand a week be someone who's not scoring goals for us. As De Angelis gets it into Joe Wills, who has, to be fair, played well today. And he finds Darren O'Day. Now Rakoski. Ivanov to the right-hand side for Memic. It was slightly behind him, but he finds the ball to Ukulano and Rakoski. What a signing he's been as it's into Joe Wills. No ruling that one out. Rakoski deserves so much credit. Came in as a centre-half a year ago. He is now actually better than O'Day. But I can't play him in there because we keep having injuries at right-back, at centre midfield. And he's just playing everywhere. He's been absolutely remarkable for us and he deserves huge credit. With 25 to go, he's absolutely knackered. But we've not got any centre mids that are fully fit on the bench. So I'm just going to push it to the final 15 or 20 because I don't really want to risk going behind again and having extra time. Adamson is going to come off now for Vasquez. We'll do both wingers. Takatsuka on at right back. Euro Day you can see is nervous. But the only sub on the bench is Parker, who at this level probably isn't going to cut the mustard. I think I might leave it aside from that for now. Berek could probably do 10 minutes if we need it. But I don't want to take too many risks. I don't really want to change the defensive line, even though neither centre-half's playing that well. But Ivanov, that's a great tackle. He's flying in. Now Vasquez on the left-hand side. Chance to take on his man with fresh legs. Vasquez to the byline. Good ball in. Ivanov's up with a keeper who punches straight to Rakoski. And his header's just over the bar. They're going to be my third and fourth subs. Joe Wills is struggling now. He's got his goal. I'll bring on Mauricio, who needs one as well. And then we're going to go for, it's going to have to be Berek. Rakoski comes off. Kivrakidis switch sides. It's been a really good performance from the youngster in the middle. In fact, both of the ones who came off have been brilliant. But what have they got left in the tank? As here's Teddy Ivanov. Finds Mauricio. Would be the icing on the cake if he ends his goal drought today. De Angelis breaks down the left-hand side. Chance to get to the byline, but goes back to Vasquez and now Berek. Sensible football. Kivrakidis, 25 yards out. What a time for your first goal at Southend United. 18-year-old Greek lad Kivrakidis. A brilliant sweeping finish. We're retraining him as a midfielder. He's playing there very well. And at the moment, he's just wrapped up our last 16 place. We're going to take Memic off for Baranda as the final sub. But this has been a very good night's work. And you can see the difference when you end the goal droughts. Both Ivanov and Wills amongst the scorers. And a first one for Southend United. The first of many, I hope, for a Greek wonder kid with bags of potential. A brilliant comeback, a great performance. Probably more comfortable than I expected that to be. Now we move on to the second and third of this episode. Because we've got the FA Cup. We've also got a big Premier League game. I've gone for it. We've made one change only from the midweek game. Bernberg is back in, which strengthens the team. Battling it out with Adamson now for best player at the club, who's improving massively. We've dropped out Who did we drop out? I can't even remember. Rakoski, who was knackered halfway through the last game. Kivrakidis is in centre midfield, and we're going to need Rakoski centre half in midweek. So more importantly, he's rested too. Going to go for the fresh legs against Arsenal, but for now, one change away at Brighton. Will it work out having our strongest team out, or will we regret not putting fresh legs in? Let's go and find out. It is Domenico Tedesco in charge of Brighton. Billy Gilmore still there. Nicholas Figueroa up front's a great player. Kai at the back. On the bench, not many familiar names. So they've got a younger feel to their squad now, Brighton. Let's go and ask the lads to pick up where they left off, because that midweek performance, maybe they're just showing up for the cameras, but it was one of our best in a long time. I wouldn't mind another one like it. Let's see how we start here. Billy Gilmore picks it up and finds Ribeiro. Didn't even notice him up front in a lineup there. As Figueroa gets in behind O'Day. That's a poor clearance, only as far as Chambers. Down the left, second minute, we don't want to go behind this early. Not when you're feeling a bit fatigued, but that is such poor defending. I don't even know why Bernberg was back marking the centre forward. But it's just about the worst start we could have hoped for. The European hangover is alive and kicking. Should have gone fresh legs. Should have gone fresh legs. 10 minutes gone. We'll give him a kick up the backside. We've not got any response just yet. Gonna need the subs to save us here. Well, 10 minutes to the break. It's been awfully quiet. We've seen nothing since that early goal. And we've not offered shots on target yet either. As O'Day finds Bernberg, who's lost possession. That's what annoys me. He's the one player who should be fresh. He didn't play in midweek. Didn't even come off the bench. And he's the one who's getting caught dallying at the box. He's getting caught on the ball. He's getting caught at the front post as well. And he is now directly at fault for both goals. 2-0 to Brighton. And it's the best player at the club, who I actually rested in midweek, that has cost us this. You never thought winning a first title was going to be easy, and we're slipping up. Why did I go for it again? We've said so many times that fresh legs wins over quality. And I've made the same stupid mistake. I'm going to have a right go here, because they're letting themselves down. They've got 10 minutes to fix it, or the subs are ringing. As Adamson. I mean, Bernberg's still rated the best player on the pitch, actually, for us. As the ball's given away again. This is quite remarkably bad, but I'm sort of glad you're seeing it in a way, because I didn't want the midweek game to gloss over my complaints and you to think I was being negative for no reason. This is how we've been playing. We've just been fortunate enough that Herbert's been popping up with a header, or we've been nicking one. As Joe Wills gets in behind. Great ball to Teddy Ivanov. And that chance is a gilt-edged one. He scored 2 in 2. He should be scoring them, really. But it's not to be. We're having some really poor performances out there. Some legs that are struggling already. They're feeling heavy. They're looking heavy. And I'm not going to wait any longer. We are going to bring on Vasquez, Takatsuka. Kivrakidis will come off for Berek. Will switch Bernberg, get him further away from the goal. Memic off for Baranda. He's been really struggling. Tempted to bring Rakoski on, but I'm not going to. In fact, who's better in the cross? Baranda's 12. Rakoski is 8. Yeah, we'll stick with that. And then we'll save one more. Maybe throw Mauricio on, but he's in a goal drought as well. We need something here. I'm going to throw some encouragement out. Just try and get the morale up. We're going to go attacking with 20 to go. But at the moment, there's just nothing there. And now Bernberg is saying he's knackered. Let's just bring Rakoski on and give him a rest. As Takatsuka finds Bernberg. Baranda puts the ball in. Joe Wills is up. Headed away as far as Echeverri, who scored the crucial second goal at the minute. Figueroa's bringing it away. I'm going to cancel this change. You know my superstition here. It's up towards Ribeiro up top. He goes back to Villagra. Into Ribeiro. We can't get the ball off them. Both strikers are knackered as well. I am tempted, but I can't put on strikers that are in a goal drought instead. Gilmore picks it up in the centre circle for Figueroa. They are literally taking the mick out of us here. Chambers down the left-hand side. I can see an end-of-season collapse coming in the league. In for 3-0, but it's over the bar. Let's make that change now. Bernberg off, Rakoski on. 13 minutes to go. We couldn't look less like scoring if we tried. We're going to demand more for the final time. I don't see where it comes. I don't see where the goal comes from. If we score one now, though, you wouldn't back against us because you know we love a late show. Rakoski finds De Angelis. Good footwork. Chance to cross. Took an extra touch and that might have been costly. It's out to Takazuka on the right. He gets it in. Ivanov's there. The flag's up. The referee's hand is up. It looked close. I can't lie to you. Please let it count. 88 gone. Back to 2-1. We've got a chance. The goal's awarded. We've been here so many times before. Can we find one? I don't think so this time. 2 was just too many. It is a 2-1 defeat at Brighton. I don't know about you, but I saw that coming a mile off. Let's go and get through to the FA Cup tie. Full rotation to the freshest legs possible. But now it's advantage Manchester United. Can they win their game this weekend? If they do, they'll be top of the table. Big news on Sunday evening. Completely missed it, and it's the game we've got next week. Sheffield United in the 97th minute completed a turnaround against Manchester United. We stay 3 points clear. Now City, Liverpool, Villa, Arsenal will all be looking up. That is a big result for us. We've got off the hook. We're not going to be able to afford many of those. I mean, thankfully the schedule does get a bit thinner after this, but that's only if we go out of the FA Cup. Now, I'm almost hoping the reserve side either lose or show they've got the ability to go all the way. Well, it's fitness test time for the third and final game of this triple header, and unfortunately, our rotation plans have taken another hit because Luis Vasquez, the left winger, is out for a month. Peacock is not back fully, and there's plenty of fatigue about as well. If you look at the FA Cup draw just there as well, Bar City is starting to open up quite a bit. It's a thing that does worry me here looking forward. It's a real open draw if we can get through. It's part of the reason I was thinking about rotating. We're going to have to trust this backup team at some point. Arsenal are going to be fatigued as well. They're probably going for a strong team, albeit they've not had Europe to worry about in the last few weeks because they got in the top 8 in the Champions League. But they played against Liverpool in the Carabao Cup, lost in extra time on Sunday. That gives us a massive boost. I'm trusting the fresh legs will win the day here. So let's see how many we can fit into the 11 and see how strong we can still make the team. Look, this isn't the strongest team, the fittest team, or the fittest bench we can name, but we've done what we can to balance things out for this fixture. Adamson has to play because of the Vasquez injury. We're still short in midfield, and we're still short up front. So Teddy Ivanov features as well, as does Kivrakidis and Takazuka. I've brought 2 back from injury in defence. We've got Alfie Harrison back from injury himself in midfield on the bench as well. And in both strikers, Hugill and Worcester, might be their chance to shine. Joe Hugill is yet to score this season. We need a big moment from him. This is the team in full then. Jude Sadler does stay in goal. Miranda and Ishmael the fullbacks with Peacock and Parker back from injury in defence. Adamson and Takazuka out wide with Berek and Kivrakidis in the middle. And then goal drought Mauricio alongside Ivanov. Hopefully he ends it today. Let's go and submit the team for the FA Cup last 16. It's a real opportunity to win a trophy this. It's a draw that opens up if we get through this one. But equally, with Arsenal playing 120 on Sunday, I'm trusting fresh legs to do the job. Well, here is the team. Unai Emery is back at Arsenal. What is it with managers returning for second spells in this save? Ethan Waneri drops to the bench. They've made 5 changes, but they've gone pretty strong still. Of the originals, you've got Saka, Rice, Erdegaard and Saliba still in. A few very good young players, including Luke Robertson up front. But what I want to know, if we go to the condition, is what state they're in. Pretty good, actually, all things considered. They must have had a fair few days off training. Let's get through the tunnel interview. Let's tell the lads to do what they can. Look, the fact that half of this team's got a light match load has got to help us in the end. 3 minutes gone, it's a quiet start. I just need a performance like the Porto game. Well, early doors, we've got a throw on the right-hand side with Miranda, and we're looking to turn it into an attack as Kivrakidis finds Takazuka into Teddy Ivanov, who's very much back in scoring form, but doesn't deliver there. It's a good save by the goalkeeper. It's out for a corner kick. Can we make the chance count? Have we got anyone who can deliver the aerial threat of Herbert? That's what we had in a league against them to nick a draw, as Brandup finds Berek and now Parker. Peacock goes wide to Takazuka, who's still on the left from the corner. Into Mauricio. There's the goal drought showing. Into the side netting. Didn't even test the keeper from 8 yards one-on-one. That is a huge concern. Takazuka playing well again. I'm still so torn on his contract. He wants big money. Oh, it just said a hip injury. That's going to be a big one. Well, we know what this situation calls for. Ivanov wasn't going to do 90 anyway. It's time for Super Joe. We're picking up injuries at all the wrong times. But Joe Hugill, it is your chance to be a hero. We tried to get rid of him in January. No one came in. Well, now he could be the Southend star, as he was in the Europa League final, as he's been so many times, as Takazuka gets in and shoots over the bar. At least he's still fresh legs, albeit he's not played for a very long time, not at this level anyway. Half an hour gone, it's been a decent performance. I just want to get through because I can see how open the opportunity is. As the throw-in is intercepted by Ishmael. They do look knackered, Arsenal, but we've got to take advantage as Ishmael finds Hugill. There he goes back to Parker. Bit of the old guard about this lineup. Kivrakidis to Baranda. Get Harrison on. It'll be the old spine again. As Baranda crosses it in. Hugill's at the back post. Just over the bar. The championship spine is almost delivering. With 5 minutes to the break, we've been probably the more forceful side, probably had the better chances. But it's 0-0, and that's all Arsenal will care about. They're staying in the game and they're keeping it tough. Ivanov's running out of steam. It could be Hugill and Worcester up front later. Let's ask the lads to prove a point and see what we can do. There's 65 on the clock, and Arsenal are growing into this. Onat's got the throw on the right. Have we left it too long to make the changes? Gonna have to take off Peacock soon, I think. And Ivanov is another contender as well. Saliba gets it into midfield for Clermont. And now Coelho. Down the line to Toklamati. He cuts into Timber. Another of the originals on. Into Saka, who's one-on-one. Saka makes no mistake. It's another one of those costly games. And you have to ask now, where is our goal threat? Seriously, where is it? I'm going to take Berek off for Harrison. I'm going to have to take both centre-halves off because they've not played for so long. Do I bring on Rakowski ahead of O'Day? I mean, those two have got the lighter match load, so I'm going to bring them on. This is a real tough one now. Do I take off Ivanov because he's playing poorly and throw on the fresh Worcester? Or do I trust the only man who's actually scoring at the minute? Let's encourage the lads. We've got 20 to go. Adamson struggling on the left, but there's no subs there now. I'm going to do it. Ivanov off for Worcester. And we're going to go attacking as well. It's a cup tight. We might as well lose 3 or 4 trying to get back into this. Can we produce the moment? It's been all Arsenal second half. And despite the fact they played 120 on Sunday, they look the fresher at the end of this game. It's all just caught up a bit. And we could go to extra time if we score. Do we want that? I don't know. Erdegaard gets away. Harrison nicks it. There's the fresh legs. Ishmael inside to Herbert. Space to bring it into midfield. It's not the best pass to Adamson. We've still got it, and that's the most important thing for now. He finds Alfie Harrison, going to leave in a sum up, and that's probably why. Poor pass from a man who's complaining about a lack of football. We'll do something when you get it. Robertson's in. I've really misjudged this episode. The first game was brilliant, but I should have stuck with my original plan. If ever there's a moment that has made you think trust your instincts, it's what we've seen in this episode. I should have rested against Brighton and I should have gone first team here. But I think we've blown our FA Cup chance as O'Day misses the header there. Harrison's got a chance to put it in. Finds Kivrakidis. Oh, he's curled another one. Hits the post. Worcester finds Takatsuka. Adamson shot deflected. But ultimately, you look at what this squad is down to now. Hugill and Worcester is a championship strike force. Harrison is championship level. So was Parker. Cameron Ishmael probably is too. As Herbert's header's saved. And the rest are playing because they've got a heavy match load and there's no one else available. There's so many injuries. It's just falling away a little here. And I do genuinely fear we're going to finish the season with nothing. Another header missed from Herbert. A decent performance. A better display than the last game. But not enough. Even if we score here, it's merely a consolation. As Takazuka is going to take the corner to the back post for Herbert. He's headed a third one over. You can see the threat he's got from those set pieces. But it's not enough. 2-0 to Arsenal. A real chance to win the FA Cup again gone. But now, at least it's all eyes on the Premier League. We'll get the draw in the Champions League. We know it's going to be a tough one. But I'm going to put all my focus on trying to stay on top. Mauricio. Oh, it says pulled calf there. It definitely said hip injury. 3 weeks out for him. Mauricio vows to end his goal drought, but he's not going to be fit for a while. Joe Hugill is in a goal drought as well. It's just not a good situation at the minute. We're running out of players, we're running out of steam, and I think I'm getting my punishment for not judging pre-season after the tournament and for going a little bit too strong. We're going to rest people in the Champions League, but we will be back for the second leg of it. The round of 16, followed by Chelsea at home. It's a rotten run into the season as well. We've still got to go to Old Trafford. We've got Liverpool, Spurs, Everton, Newcastle as well. It is far from a formality that we will be challenging for a first Premier League title. By the middle of April, it could have all pretty much fallen away. Having said that, we're in our 12th season and we're in this position. We need to have some perspective. A brilliant campaign, a brilliant effort so far, but will it finish in style? It's our only realistic trophy chance left, so if you're looking forward to seeing if we can make it count, then please do put a thumbs up on the video, subscribe and turn that notification bell on to stay up to date. We'll be back with this one in a couple of days' time after we return with our new series again tomorrow. But I'll see you back here in a couple of days' time as the title race continues to be tense and hotting up. We're just happy to be in it. But the way things are going, if I'm being honest, I have no idea how we hold on. I'll see you next time to find out if I'm right.